I done did it all, from denim to linen, chillin' and killing and swimming in these feminine women. Nigga, let's get it. My fashion got me Benjamin spinning, going crazy up in Macy's as I'm spilling this venom. Photo no Tommy in every single photo I'm cocky. Only the lavisher fabrics that I blow on my body. Tag popping.
Can't complain, man. Living a dream. Black and Alive is 2018. Beautiful summer. No complaints for me. How about you?
Good, man. You know,
I see you're doing big teams out here. Big teams.
Working, grinding.
That's all you do is work. I always see you with the one thing I always tell you too, and I like, especially from your boys, is just like the positivity. I love that. I love it's always positive. It's never negative. It's always on the up and up.
We're trying, man. When was it? Like about literally like a year ago, the last time, you know?
Yeah, it probably was like a year to the day we did the interview in your basement.
In my basement, right?
Yeah, that's right. Damn, that was probably like exactly, look how fast things change, man.
Time flies.
Time flies, man.
Literally. I definitely, and you had the interview with Streets Want to Know, but I actually wanted to sit down with you. I felt that, you know, I was like, I need to sit down with Smoov.
I appreciate that, I love to talk. I love to talk. People know that.
And there's some things that I think we need to talk about. I think it's some things concerning music we need to talk about. Things concerning our city.
Definitely.
You know, our youth. You know, our future, our culture. You know, and your future. You know, as far as music and music management. I'm gonna stick that in there too, because I know you have a lot of hip hop experience.
I do.
You know, there's nothing wrong with being a music manager after you feel that you have fulfilled what you need to fulfill in music too as well. But first, I want to start with. Most people know you, you know.
Yes, sir.
Smoov Jones.
Smoov Jones, baby.
CT. But let's dive right into it, man.
All right. Let's go.
So, music, right? You've been doing music how many years?
Oh boy, like I was a teenager. 20 years, man. Long time.
20 years.
20 years, long time. Probably. I mean, I didn't start recording music till maybe like 10 years ago. I was like 10 years ago I started recording music, but I've been, you know, freestyling, rapping over instrumentals and ciphers forever.
Yeah.
That's always been my thing.
So now it's going to bring us back to our root question. We live in Connecticut, all right? The perception of Connecticut to other states is I think we got two sides. You got some who believe we don't have that entertainment scene, or you know, we don't have projects or neighborhoods, or we're just this white area that has handed to us.
People
right?
think we're like preppy white boys.
Yeah. Like,
that's what they think. Connecticut.
Okay,
Oh, you Colin Banks? I get it.
Yeah. And then you have the people who actually show us love, like hip hop. You know, we got people in the industry now who always showed us love coming out here because we're like one of the big hip hop areas. You know, Toes Place, you know, XL Center. Like
a lot of like Max B, French Montana, 50. They got big in Connecticut.
Yeah. And they know, they respect it, but. I think we just had Styles here. Styles P. Shout out to Styles P.
The Ghost.
You know, the Ghost show us a lot of love. But one of the things that our interview actually with him, I think, just dropped today. But one of the things he said that I wanted to get other people's view on is that they always showed us love, but we never really had that root person come from the city, like I was explaining to him, and actually, you know, build that wealth or that light here, you know, and keep it here, you know. But they come from the city, they come from Jersey, come from Atlanta, they show us love. Where do you think that root thing that we're missing as far as a culture in hip hop, that it's taken us 20, 30, 40 years to catch up with other cities?
I think you alluded to it when you said it's like, you know, the perception of Connecticut. So, you know, you get perception versus reality. And the perception of Connecticut is we're a bunch of rich, white, snobby kids. So the other people, if you hear who you think to be rich white kids or rich kids, period, if you're from Chicago and you hear these rich kids talk about gangster stuff, you think that's not authentic. Authenticity and originality is what's held us back forever. There is no it may be authentic to us. So, you know, if you live in the projects out here and you talking about violent things and you talk about selling drugs, and let's be real, for the most part, that's what people gravitate towards hip hop. They want to hear sex, money, and drugs. That's what people like to hear. So if you're from Connecticut and, like I said, I live in Chirac and I hear a Connecticut rapper, I laugh because I'm like, you're not that gangster, but you could be. So it's like the perception of us being rich, snobby kids and the idea that these rich snobby kids can't be gangsta is what hurts our authenticity to other people, to like you said, the perception of other people, how people see us, and originality. So forever, if you ask somebody from Connecticut who their favorite rapper is, 9 times out of 10, depending on their age, they're going to say somebody from New York.
Yeah.
And if I'm a record label, if I'm a record exec, and I say, these kids from Connecticut sound just like New York, I'm just going to go to New York.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go to New York. I'd rather go to the source. Why get the knockoff or the carbon copy? I'll just go to New York.
Yeah.
It's funny because now you see Shorty from New Haven, Snowpro.
Yeah.
She's popping, super popping. And a lot of cats from Connecticut are like, that's whack, that's not dope hip hop. And I'm like, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Is that's her.
Yeah.
That's genuine, it's authentic to her.
Yeah.
So it worked. And it's different than what everybody else is doing.
Absolutely.
We're too busy, I'm guilty of it, everyone's guilty of it, trying to be Fab, Jadakiss, Jay-Z. I'm going to go to Brooklyn to find the next Jay-Z, not New Britain.
I see what you're saying.
And it sucks because if you think about Connecticut, you can probably name like 5 real hoods or 5 to 10 hoods, 5 to 10 cities that are like hood.
Yeah.
It's like you go to other cities, it's like you can name 5 in that city. I can name 5 parts of Chicago that are lit, 5 parts of New York that are lit, LA the same way, Houston, all these big cities that you see popping, there's mad hoods in there. So it almost sucks, but it's like, in order for us to blow, to get respected by like the rest of the other 49 states, it's almost like our crime rate has to go up, which is terrible if you think about it. But on the other end of that, which also gives me hope, is when I look at the charts. I'm a dude who looks at numbers every week. Every Monday, I look at the Billboard chart and I look at the top 5 every week. And it's not the guys talking about that. It's not the guys selling drugs. It's not the guys talking about guns. It's not the guys talking about misogynistic stuff towards women. The number 1 song is this year for hip hop, and people are gonna hate it because it's Drake. But you know, Nice for What, God's Plan. Nice for What wasn't talking bad about girls. It was empowering women. God's Plan had a positive message. Now, if you look at that inside hip hop, the real hip hop heads that they call themselves, they hate Drake. They hate that. But in the scheme of things, when you're doing something positive and not bashing women, people are like, that's whack. Hip hop says that's whack, but the masses gravitate towards it. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, do I keep it gangsta or act like I'm gangsta to appease the real hip hop heads who really aren't going to come out and support, or do I do me because this example of success at the top? Jay-Z had an album last year. He talked about family, talk about financial wealth, talk about taking care of his kids and like being a better man towards his wife. That was top, top on the charts. When you look at the guys who top the charts, it's not Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. They don't talk about that stuff. So to me, it's like, as an artist, I juggle with it all the time, and people say that to me. They be like, yo, I'll drop a freestyle and I'm swearing, bitch, nigga, this, all of that. People love it. And then I'll do something else where I'm like rapping positive, and they'll love that too. So I'm stuck. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, and people think you can't be both, but you could be. Like, who's to say, like, I don't want to smoke in the morning and then go fight at night? I could do these things, you know what I mean? Or like, I can go to work and that's what Connecticut is. Connecticut's a bunch of people who live like, I do both. I work, I take care of it's like T.I. T.I. talks about that. He's like, why can't I be a gangster that sells drugs and loves his wife and take care of his kids? And Connecticut is a lot of that. Or a lot of dudes who rap and work and are good guys, but that image on a lower level doesn't really sell to people. People don't want to hear that. So to answer your question, I think we need authenticity and originality is what we've been lacking forever.
Our own.
And you see it with Annoy. Annoy was completely different. Have bars like a New York dude, and that's what kills me about Annoy, because cats hate on Annoy a lot. And I'm like, yo, Annoy got bars. Yo, he could rap. He could rap his ass off. But when you hit with a song like Lucky, again, if I'm from somewhere else, the perception is, oh, that's Connecticut. It's Lucky. You love your girl. You know what I mean? That's the perception of Connecticut, and it just sucks. But you know, Annoyance and Snowpro are the 2 people I could think of that made it the furthest, and they were the most original, different than everybody else.
Well, Chris too. How about
Chris Webby? My bad. I tell you, stupid me. Chris Annoy's on Chris Webby's tour right now, right? And Chris Webby, somebody different, but. And I hate to say this, but Chris Webby fits the stereotype.
He definitely does.
If your perception of Connecticut is Chris Webby. You know what I mean? White guy, somebody like Apathy from Norwich, another dope dude who got on big record deal. Again, he's a white guy, so when people see a white guy from Connecticut with a sweater on rapping, they say, oh, that's Connecticut, I like it. But he's rapping about gangster shit. Another dude with bars. So it's all about your image and about how genuine people think you are. Not really how genuine you really are, just what somebody thinks if they think you're being genuine.
Yeah. And this definitely is a conversation that can just go on forever because it's deep.
For days.
But I just think that it comes to a point where this conversation shouldn't go on forever. There should be some type of energy, because I know the energy is out there now, and
huge
things
energy.
are changing,
Yep.
you know, but the city outside of Connecticut, they're looking at us. And what they're looking at is we look like a bunch of fools that can't get it together. Like, that's really
Stepping
how we're
on
looked
each
at.
other, arguing,
Yeah.
beefing. Like, this dude's popping. Why you're popping? Why are you not supporting him? Why don't y'all got a song together?
Yeah.
You see it with Webby and Annoyed, but you don't see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And we need more of that. We need more of, like, it's like this. It's like we're like the kids in class arguing over the same girl, and that girl don't want nothing to do with either one of us. So me and you come into school every day, we trying to outfit each other, trying to kill each other with the fists, trying to outsmart, trying to be cool, and she's just like, I don't even want neither one of y'all. I like this dude right here. We're like, what are y'all doing? And that's New York. New York is the girl. She's looking at us like, you guys are stupid.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. No, and for a person like me, it bothers me, but I know the vision I see, we're going to get somewhere. You know, I think for years we always felt like we needed this artist to do it, or we needed this artist to break the ice, or this artist did it and he never came back to Connecticut, or he don't rep Connecticut. And I think for years we focused on that. I think now we're living in a time where it's a different form of energy, where now platforms are building up, like this one. Where I think the platforms and the people that's in charge, like you was talking about the being authentic, is what's going to bring us to that next level, because I think we have a different responsibility. You understand? Because this can't keep going on. It's like a big chess game, right? It's like a big chess game, and every city has a piece. But Connecticut, we're the biggest consumers to their hip hop.
To everybody,
Jersey artists,
and when you were talking about styles,
biggest
like,
consumer.
That's why New York rappers love us so much, because we consume.
Yeah.
They're like, I'll go to Connecticut. They love us out there.
They love us a lot, but we have the same talent that every other state has. We have the same resources. We have the same everything. But the key ingredient that we're missing is we're missing order, we're missing unity, and we're missing grind. Like there shouldn't be a day. There shouldn't be a day where we're not grinding to get towards that goal we want to go.
Chasing your dream.
As a whole city. I don't care if you're doing it over in New Haven. If I can ride in New Haven to support you, if 20 of us or 30 of us can do that, it should be done. Because we have to captivate this bubble of entertainment to let the consumer know that's what I want to go watch. That's what I want to go watch. But I think we're not getting it because we don't understand it.
It's interesting because I heard you say this one time. I watched a video and you was talking about this, and it like struck with me because it makes perfect sense. And you were talking about foundation, and you said how like you're laying the foundation now for your kids so that they don't have to lay it for somebody else. And nobody ever laid that foundation for us.
Yes.
So it's like now we're like the first ones who are like
figuring it out.
Let's build this foundation. It's kind of like going to college, right? Where like you see your mom go to college, so now you want to go to college. But if you never saw your mom go to college, you feel like I can make it in this world working a 9 to 5 like my mom did.
Yeah.
So when you look at like black people who weren't allowed to go to school like in the 60s and 70s and 80s, it's like we're at the generation now where our kids feel like it's okay to go to college.
Yeah.
That's that same foundation that you're talking about, where like I feel like the kids of our kids are gonna be like, no, it's okay to mess with him. It's okay to be cool with him. It's okay to believe my dream and embark on it. We were raised in a time where like our dreams seemed impossible.
Yes.
Whereas like, nah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, I was watching an interview today with Nicki Minaj, and she was talking about how Safari told her, you can't be no rapper. How Safari's parents were calling her lazy, saying she thinks she's gonna be a rapper.
Yeah.
That was the culture during the early 2000s, 1999. People was like, you can't be no rapper. Get out of here. You better go get a job.
Yeah.
But now we got parents who are telling their kid, like as a parent, you'll be a bad parent if you tell your kid, you know what, don't go to college, invest in your career 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You'd be bad for that. Like, what are you doing? Go to college. But now parents are like, nah, you really don't need school, son. If you want to invest in whatever you do, whether it be drawing, whether it be art, like, you know, Firebomb lives right across the street. And like, she's somebody I'm not going to school. You know what I mean? It's like, we were brainwashed for years. You got to go to school, go to college, and do this. And then it's like, because that foundation was never laid for us, we never saw people going to school. So it was like impossible to us. It was like a dream to us. But now what you're doing, like you said, for your kids, you're setting this foundation. Your boys are 5-6 years away from being 18. From being to the point where they're gonna be like, yo, dog, we got a platform. I've been writing rhymes. I know my boy who got this. We got a platform. Let's go. And if it doesn't work for them, then their kids will be like, yo, my grandfather built this 30-40 years ago. We're gonna make this pop. And when you look at like a lot of success stories, they talk about their parents, they talk about their grandparents, how they laid that foundation. Is like, we're the first generation doing that for our, I mean, we were born in the crack era, where a lot of our parents were doing drugs, a lot of our parents, a lot of our dads were never there. I'm 35, I didn't meet my dad, I didn't really build a relationship to my dad to 3-4 years ago. Whereas like, I look at parents now, we're like the product of the deadbeats. When I look at kids that were who had deadbeat dads who are now taking care of their kids. Taking care of their kids, no problem. Taking on other people's kids, no problem. I got this because we want to lay that foundation. I don't want you to go through what I go through. There's still deadbeat dads, don't get me wrong, but it's less now. You see more dudes like, nah, even if me and her ain't there, I'm gonna go be with my kids. You know what I mean? And it's like, we didn't grow up in that era. We grew up where your dad could run away and be 2 blocks away and your mom never see him.
You never see him,
now it's like, nah, you on the internet, we're gonna air you out, bro. We need this money. Where you at? Y'all support this dude? He don't support his kids. You know what I mean? So it's like, that foundation. Once you lay that foundation, and once you give kids and the youth an idea of like, yo, you can do it. With like, it's funny because we just sat through two presidencies, right? And both of these presidencies are examples to kids that you can literally do anything. Like, we thought when Obama got elected, like, you can do anything. When Trump got elected, it's like, yo, bro,
now it's like you can
bro, look, you could be whatever you want. Literally, bro. Like, you can do whatever you want. So really, it's like, our kids, we didn't have that growing up. We grew up in the crack era. Like, we grew up when Reagan was president and was trying to shut black people down. Now we're growing up in a time where kids are like, nah, I could do this, bro. I could do this. Like, my dad, your kids, I swear to you, man, trust me, when your kids are 20, you're gonna be like, wow, I didn't even know y'all was picking up all of this. Because kids are sponges. They just absorb. I absorbed what my family was doing. It was negative stuff. I absorbed that, though. I learned that. If your kids are around you and picking that up, they're gonna think that's normal to create opportunities. It's normal to be an entrepreneur. It's normal to chase your goals. It's normal to be outspoken. That's what we need. That's what we need. We didn't have that for mad long.
You're right. And I think you hit it right on the nose. That's really what we need in all aspects, though. And
it's not just music. It's just it's everything. Aspects, community, like
no foundation. We have no path laid down for us.
Nothing. Like, I came up in New Britain, yo. All we really had was the boys club, yo. That's all we had. And to this day, my real friends are dudes from the boys club. And when I used to coach your boys, I would tell them that, like, yo, look around. These dudes gonna be your friends forever. Because it's about building relationships, and it's like something like basketball is like, you know, we can get good together. There's mad opportunities for both of us, so it's not me stepping on you. But with music, it's like there ain't mad opportunities, so I might have to step on your toes. But I really feel like the youth that are watching us make moves are like, oh, we could do this.
Going on top of that with the youth is that we live in this city of New Britain, and some of the things I think we block out, like we don't want to talk about, or we act like don't exist. But until more of us men actually stop being mentally lazy and stop making excuses. And
we're all guilty of it.
We're all guilty of it. A lot of kids out there too right now to this day is involved in a lot of crime that don't make the newspaper. A lot of juvenile detention, probation, bracelets, everything.
To the choir right now,
And it's like some of the men is acting like them, so it's almost like, I'm not sure, but it's almost like we're being outnumbered by stupidity, where if people really care about what we're doing, they have to step up more. Like, people have to step up.
You can't be stingy with the knowledge, like, right? Like, if your parents or whoever gave you the knowledge, or if you learned it on your own, a lot of people feel like, well, I found my way, you got to find yours. That's a sick mentality that a lot of people have. Like, I found my own way, then you got to find your own. It's like, nah, bro, help me out. Like, where's that brotherly love? Like, where's that help me out? Where's that, like, nah, like, we could do this together. Like, I know how to do this. It's A, B, and C. You doing B, C, and D. Let me show you how to do this the right way.
Yeah.
And it's like, people are like, nah, I'd rather watch you fall on your face.
Yeah.
Or you got to pay me for that.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, put some money in my pocket and then I'll help you out. It's like,
and I think it goes back to your other question, your other answer too, is about the mindset that we was developed and taught. You know, because if you think about it, like in our city, like just think about it, who actually did something good that made another person believe or trust that he's not gonna leave me, or I believe him. Like who actually did something, came back to our city, built wealth, so we can actually say, yo, I believe that Devon is not gonna play me, or I can help Smoov because Smoov gonna come back and put his hand out. There's no belief because the action never was followed up.
Absolutely right.
So I think we, like me, for some reason, I just feel like I talk to my wife about this a lot of times. Like I never felt like dying for something more than my culture and my city. Like you know how like back in the days you had your Malcolm X, you had your people, and they believed in their people. Like that's how I believe in these kids in this community, and that's how I believe in our culture, our life, everything we're doing in this area of New Britain, expanding to Connecticut. I believe that I have the heart to do it, and I love it so much. And it's like I see it happen. It's not like work.
It's fun.
And I see it happening, but it's a lot of work because it's a different mindset that these people have. But I believe that there is a positive outcome can come from it. You know what I mean? I just think the consistency just have to.
And like you're saying, consistency. You got to keep your foot on the gas. As soon as you take the foot off the gas, it's gonna slow up. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna get to your destination smashing the brakes. You know, you ain't gonna get there getting off on the exit at the rest stop hanging out. You gotta go.
A different form of consciousness was developing. You were growing. Explain the growth through your music from what you've seen and you starting to write music to now.
It's just natural, right? Like as a man, you get older, you start witnessing different things, and different things start and stop appealing to you. So like, you know, when I was young, sex, money, and drugs was appealing to me. You know what I mean? That was cool. But it was funny because when I was young, I used to battle rap, and I would just write these long verses, and for me it was cool to talk about guns and like, oh, guns, I'm gonna shoot you, that, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't me. I had a friend one day, my friend, hardworking Bernard Burton, Kim, one of my smartest friends, is like always helped me out, always got the best advice. And I was talking to Kim, and Kim said, yo, you don't shoot guns, why are you rapping about that? So to him, I'm like, so what am I gonna rap about? He was like, bro, whatever you do. Like, what do? You play ball, you're funny, you get girls, like, talk about that. So I was like, yo, you know what? You're right. Like, that's easier to do. Like, I used to write songs about, like, guns and stuff, and I had to think and, like, get super duper creative and thinking about, like, all the money. I was like 15. Like, talk about my guns and all the drugs I sold and all the money I was making, because that's what the climate was. And then I was like, let me just write something silly, like about me, like what I do. Not silly, but just what I do. And that was so much more easier, and people liked it more. And I was like, that's easy for me. It's super easy for me to write music and be myself. So like on my first projects, it was kind of like, I saw this like as like, I try to treat all my albums like if I was in the industry. So I look at like industry rappers, and I'm like, most industry rappers, your first album is about you. That's about everything in your life up until that point, like that struggle. And for me, that's why I named it Pork Chops and Applesauce, because it was like, that was my meal coming up. It was like soul food for me. So like my first album was more about me, like my history, like what I done. The second album, I tried to get more into what I really wanted to do, and that was like the conscious stuff, like super duper conscious. But then my first big album, 1990 something, that's when I wanted to hit them with everything. That's when I was like, all right, I could go, because you don't have to be like, I could be conscious and still be ignorant. You know what I mean? Like I got a song called You're Not a Model. People love You're Not a Model, where I talk about girls on Instagram acting like models, but they're really not models. But on the same album, I got a song called Little Ass Nigga. So it's like, if you're a girl and you listen to that, you're like, oh, he's bashing women. Then you go here, no, it goes both ways. I'm gonna bash these bum dudes too, because I know that it goes both ways. But then I got a song called Illusions on there, where I'm talking about life, where I'm talking about, like, you know, politics and what's going on in the world, and these people trying to deceive us and like all of that. So 1990 something was like full circle, where it's like everything was in there, and I feel like you can do that. Like that's my favorite project. That's my best project. Well, my best project's coming out Friday, but that was that was my favorite project up until this. And then like I've always just tried to be me, and I've tried to explain what was going on during my life, like, you know, what was going on during that time. So like verbal graffiti was when I was like going through like very like real bad breakups with girls. So you hear like a lot of like I love you on there, where it was like I was in love with this girl, and then the next song was called I Hate You, and it was like I loved you, now I hate you. Like this is like it went from there to that. So it always is trying to be like what's going on in my life. This last album, Smoov Jones Radio, it was kind of like, and it's funny because I see DMTS Radio here, but I kind of wanted to make it like a radio show, like this is what I want to hear on the radio. This is my idea of what the radio should sound like.
Gotcha.
So you hear like a lot of different songs you don't hear from me. They're like up-tempo songs, party type songs. Most of them are up-tempo party songs. But then when you get into it, you're like, this is still Smoov Jones though. It's nothing wrong with having a good time. It's not as conscious and as you know, as fist in the air pro-black as I was before, but the message is still there. The music is still there. It's still positive. I'm still not calling women bitches. I'm still not lying about drugs. I'm still not I'm still not being violent. I'm still just being me, a funny guy who I think I'm handsome, so I'm gonna talk that shit. You know what I mean? Talk that rapper talk when I do it, and it's fun for me. You know what I mean?
Definitely. One thing about you, and everybody in the city knows you, is that you always keep it authentic. You always kept it real. Like if you like something, you let the person know. Like, I don't care what you're talking about, but I like that. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. You feel me?
If I don't like it, I'm not even gonna bash it. I'm just not gonna talk about it. I'm not. I've never been labeled a hater. I'm never gonna hate on you. Like if you give me some food and be like, this is the greatest steak ever, I'm gonna eat it and be like, yo, it's straight. I'm not gonna bash you. I'm not gonna say that was I don't bash anybody. That's just not in me. It's like I'd rather show you love. I'm gonna show you, and then I think people respect me more for that. It's like, he's just that's what he likes. That's what I like. And it's like you said, a lot of people know me, and a lot of people know me because I'm like, if you sit down and talk to me, I get real personal. So it's like if you know me and then you hear me rap about other stuff, you're gonna be like, that ain't smooth. Like, get out of here. That's not you, bro. A lot of people know me, so it's like I be a fool to lie. People know who I am. I can't go in there talking about last night I was bagging up 1,000 bricks. They're gonna be like, get out of here. That wasn't you. You was playing Xbox. So when I say last night I was playing Xbox, the 30 million dudes that was playing Xbox last night, they want to hear that. Like no matter what you're doing, somebody's doing that.
You definitely.
You wake up and arguing with your girl, somebody did that today. You wake up and you and your girl had toast, somebody did that. So no matter what you're doing, somebody did it, and somebody gonna relate to it. You don't gotta. You could be J. Cole, you could be Kendrick, you could be Drake. Somebody gonna relate to what you're talking about.
And I think that's the thing about us thinking about there's not enough to go around, or there's not enough room, because they think like, oh, I got hurt and kid. But everybody, there's billions of people in the world. Bro. Like there's enough. There's not a listen. We're all hip hop fans. We all know hip hop fans. You've never met a hip hop fan that says, I like Jay-Z and that's all I listen to. No one says that. They're like, I like Jay-Z, but I also like Biggie, and I like this guy, and I like this guy. So it's crazy when you look at a rapper's mentality and say, oh, he's stealing my shine, or I can't boost him because he's gonna be bigger than me. Bro, these fans are out here looking to consume. There's a million crackheads out here, and you trying to be stingy with your crack. Bro, there's a million of us. We can all get this money. And it's just like, you can't serve them all. Like I don't put out a song and expect everybody to like it. If everybody did like it, I'd hate that. I'm like, somebody lying. No, there's no way all y'all like this. Somebody's lying. You know what I mean? It's a reason why like I don't play music for friends. Like my boys are always like, yo, you never play music for me. I'm like, for what? You gonna tell me it's hot? Wanna hear the song? Yo, that's hot, Smooth. I know. You're going to tell me anything's hot. You're my boy. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes your boys don't even know if it's hot or not. They like you. They like the work that you put into it, so they might really think that they like it, but they don't even know. So it's I like pushing to strangers. That's my move. Like, I push to strangers. There's a lot of strangers out there, too.
And strangers
love music.
And people look at, they look at us rappers like superheroes, right? So when you become, and I always used to tell, shout outs to Neff, I used to tell Neff that all the time, like, yo, people look at us like superheroes, and it's like, you have to carry that image, and like, but with superheroes, we're always nice to the people, right? So there was, maybe Hancock was the only one who was kind of mean, but you never seen Captain America, like, get out of here, regular people. They were mad nice to the people, and like, as rappers, you gotta be nice to, these are your consumers, you gotta be nice to these people, man.
You're right, customers, man.
Shake their hand, go talk to them. Stop acting like you above them. Like, you can be above them with the music we do, but that's why I like the superhero reference, because because all superheroes had the human version of them.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm superhero, but I'm still a human, bro. I'm still Clark Kent. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I got a job at the Daily Paper. Regular. That's what Iron Man. Yeah, I'm a superhero, but I still got a business to run. Like, I'm a rapper, but I still got a life to live, and people don't. It's hard to like separate that. People don't see that.
You're right.
You used to always say, like, you know, because I know you work, you know, with a lot of kids, and you always told me, you was like, man, when I'm done with music, like, I still want to do something in music.
Yeah.
What is your vision to when you stop making music to do actually in music?
It's funny because like my heart, like I feel like I want to be like Diddy. I want to go find young dudes, find artists, and you know, get them on, give them opportunities. But then like another part of me is like, I see myself as like a Joe Buttons, or I could do like podcasts and do an interview. And I feel like that's why I love hip hop, and that's why I love the word culture so much, because it's like there's so much to do.
You could do it.
There's so much behind the scenes. So it's like, why can't I do it all? I could be an A&R. I could do. So I'm always got my hand in the pot. If it ain't music, I'm doing a podcast. I'm doing a show. My if I can't make it as a rapper, right? I always start my future ideas with that. If I can't make it as a rapper, my ideal right now is like I would love to be like a late night TV show host. I would love to do like my own late night, or like, you know, my own hip hop TV show where I interview rappers, do a little stand up in the like before the show, just something, have live a rapper perform,
and stuff like that.
Live audience. I always want to do something like that. I feel like I'm a funny dude. I always love hip hop. I love doing interviews, so that's always in the back of my mind. That's always something that I want to do, and that's something that I'm actually working towards now, like trying to do like a show like that.
Nah, that's dope. And Smoov Jones, man.
Smoov Jones,
Radio.
Divine DMTS Radio. Appreciate y'all.
I done did it all, from denim to linen, chillin' and killin' and swimming in these feminine women. Nigga, let's get it. My fashion got me Benjamin spinning, going crazy up in Macy's as I'm spilling this venom. Polo no Tommy in every single photo. I'm cocky, only the lavisher fabrics that I'll throw on my body. Tag popping, you can see me with my bags bopping.